let's talk about custom fields. Rectadmin offers fields for various data types, for images, numbers, text, etc. But sometimes it's not enough, and sometimes you need to build your own field component. For instance, in this page, I have a list of orders. Each order has a customer and a certain number of items. Here there is one item in the basket. Sometimes there are more. Here I have 2 items. It would be convenient to show the number of items in the data grid. And I'm going to write a custom field for that. So here is the order list. It uses various text, date, reference field, etc. And I've built a number items field here to read the basket length. So the way I do that is just I call useRecordContext, and it will read the context created by each data grid row corresponding to the record of that row. And then I can just say order basket length. So how do I use it in my order list? I just include it as a child of data grid. So I use the NB items field. And now I can see I have the number of items displayed here. It lacks a label. So let me add the label for this column. I have to refresh the data grid because it's optimized. Okay, I have a number of items here and it's properly displayed. But I may want to have the label predefined directly in the field itself. So what I can do is to use the default props, and rectadmin will read the number of items from the field itself instead of the child. There is a better way for this particular case because it's a very simple case. I can use something called WithRecord, and WithRecord will help me build a field based on a simple render function. And the render function will receive the current record and return the basket length. And now, if I refresh, I have the proper number of items here for each order. I can also add the label and it shows properly. So I don't need a custom field like the one I built for simple cases where I only need to do a simple operation on the record. And there is in fact an even easier way. I can use a number field. Yes, I can use a number field using a pass for the source. And I can use basket.length, and it will work properly because you can put a composed source in each rectadmin field. So this custom field was pretty easy. Let me clean up the source here. Let me give you a second example. I have a customer column here, and I would like to show the customer avatar together with the customer name. It turns out the customer model has an avatar URL, so it's not that difficult. I have created this customer field here. It uses the same trick. It goes useRecordContext, and then it will use the record.avatar, the record.firstname, record.lastname to display exactly what I want. So let me go to the order list, and a reference field will fetch the customer for each order here and create a custom record context for each customer and then render it. So I can use my customer field as a child of reference field. And now I have the avatar together with the name, and it links to the customer show view. And I can use the same customer field in, for instance, the show view for each order. Oh, it's already here in the show view. I have prepared it to show that you can reuse a component across several views. Notice that this customer field, I have defined it in the customer domain because it expects to read a customer context and not an order context. And that's the gist of custom fields. Use record context. Make sure the record is defined before reading it, because sometimes React admin will render the page before the record is fully fetched. And then you can use any field you want with it. Thank you for watching and happy coding.